1-900-Wrestling is brought to you, as always, by patreon.com/1900wrestling. Again, that is patreon.com/1900wrestling. Get it to support the show, but more importantly, get it because this is the place where you can meet other wrestling fans and talk about wrestling all the goddamn day. It's the best for live. I'm just saying. Everybody who uses it, we all love it. Come on and be a part of the community. That is patreon.com/1900wrestling. But enough talking about how to support the show. Well, what do you say? We just do the damn thing.
I want you to call me for all of wrestling's latest news and views. I've been around in wrestling for 35 years, and nobody knows wrestling like me. Remember the number 1-900 Wrestling.
Stupid idiots.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 1-900 Wrestling program. My name is Justin Robert Young. Joining me, as always, is Willie Dills Gregory. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited about a lot of things that are happening in wrestling, and then we just talked about this pre-show. We are going to be in the same place at the same time when the greatest Royal Rumble happens.
I mean, look. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
They've had great Royal Rumbles. They've never had the greatest Royal Rumble, and that is until we'll be watching it on Friday. What a weird card. We're going to get into that, but first, let's go ahead and look back at the week that was. We did our draft. I have to say we stirred up a little controversy because none of us took Samoa Joe. So
well, yeah, he's been off TV for a while, so I will admit that I forgot about Samoa Joe. I didn't forget about Dre, but I forgot about Samoa Joe.
You forgot about Samoa Joe. I'll tell you what, he has made his presence felt on television, though.
Yes,
now,
his return is strong.
Oh, my God. Came out, ethered Roman Reigns twice, and then announced himself on SmackDown, which might now have maybe the most exciting nucleus of internet wrestlers.
It's kind of nuts. The squared circle community is definitely going to be watching SmackDown.
Oh my God, it's just crazy. All right, so here let's break it down. These were the moves that were made on Raw. Jinder Mahal to Raw drops the U.S. title to Jeff Hardy. More on him in a second. The Riot
he was
Squad
drafted with the title, right, and then lost it immediately.
Dropped it immediately. Yeah. The Riot Squad, who they just are going to flip Absolution and the Riot Squad. Now the Riot Squad's on Raw and Absolution is on SmackDown. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I don't quite understand where. I mean, this is all the classics of like WWE wanting the moment more than they want the story. And so we tell this months-long story imperiling the employment of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And Stephanie sent an email. And now we're here.
Here's the thing you have to understand. SmackDown and Raw are not WWE. They get fired from WWE. They got fired from SmackDown, right?
Well, it's funny because I think
explanation.
In their Hell in a Cell match, Shane and Kevin, I think, if I remember correctly, there was we're not talking about you just going to Raw. If you lose, you are gone forever. But I guess
I think that was part of that too. But sweep that under the rug.
No, I know.
Fine.
Well, I guess it just is like he can only flex that muscle once, and once he's done it, then it's back to the shenanigans. But that's fine. Look, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on SmackDown, I think. Look, they were there with The Miz. They were all hopping up and down, so happy together. But with The Miz going to SmackDown, I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn fill a lot of that same role on a show. They can do funny, the funny heel segment. Just swap in Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, no, makes sense. I mean, I think Raw also with the 3-hour format, you can give them a little more time, right?
Yeah.
To just mess around and have fun.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. So Miz going to SmackDown. That's the only SmackDown acquisition we found out on Raw. And
yeah, and also not with the Miztourage, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Miztourage. So they're staying on SmackDown.
On Superstars.
Oh, on Superstar.
That's
on
right.
main event.
Congratulations, boys. You're back to main event. Well, I mean, look, I hope that one or both of them. I'm still a huge Bo Dallas fan.
Yeah,
I
me
think,
too. I mean, he just needs everything they've done in the Miztourage too has just been super fun and enjoy like the way they're dressed and like how they like kind of work with the Miz and everything. Like it does suck to watch guys like with the amount of talent he has get pushed back a little bit into these types of roles, but he kills it every time he does.
yeah.
What was the thing that they did where they were like on the internet or whatever? What was that group? Remember?
Oh,
There's 4 of them.
Oh, the social outcasts.
Yeah, the social whatever.
The social outcasts. Yeah.
Social outcasts. There you go. They were great in that too. So yeah, I think it's time to let him like do what he did so well in NXT, man. I want to see it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Is like his shtick there was just so good, but you got to wonder sometimes. Triple H has talked about. There are small acts and there are big acts. And whether or not Elias was getting over in NXT, he knew he would get over in WWE because when you pay that much money and you're sitting down with your kids to watch a wrestling show and they're getting impatient and some a-hole sits down and starts playing a guitar, you're going to get mad at him in a way that you won't when you're in a more, let's say, artistically inviting environment like NXT where the crowd is generally rooting for weird ideas to be good.
They want something that's different from the main show, too.
Yeah.
So they'll cheer for anything that isn't what you get on Raw and SmackDown.
That is a great point. The best way to be a heel in NXT is to be John Cena.
Sure.
Like, just be, I'm a guy and I'm wrestling you right now. Let's go wrestle.
They literally hated him so much that they turned away. They turned their backs and wouldn't watch the Bo Dallas matches. He was that hated. It was great.
Zach,
I love that he was the babyface too. Like he was still presented as the baby. That was such a good time. I want to go back and watch some of those shows.
Oh my God, yeah. All right, Zack Ryder, woo woo woo, you know it. Going to Raw.
All right.
Here's one of the more interesting ones. Breezango, the Fashion Police, Fandango and Tyler Breeze, now on Raw. Raw will apparently now be 1 hour of pre-taped vignettes between the Broken Universe and the Fashion Files. And I'm here for it. But, a lot of the tag teams got rated and thrown on SmackDown. I would love to see Breezango as a more competitive in-ring tag team because as fun as the Fashion Files are, these guys are both really good.
I know, it's kind of sad. Tyler Breeze was actually like main event guy in NXT. He was basically top heel for a while.
Yeah.
And and he was super good. He was in the Fatal 4-Way or whatever with
Tyson
that was
Kidd
one of the
and
best
Sami
NXT
Zayn,
matches
Neville
of the previous era. Yeah. And he was not, just an extra guy there. He was part of the action. He was part of what made it so good. So yeah, I'd love to see that. And Fandango doesn't get enough credit for actually being a good wrestler because his gimmick has just been super weird forever.
Yeah, but you want to know what? I think that they both kind of sunk their teeth a little bit more into the creative element. They've got that extra 10%. They just need to show the 90% that we've already seen them do.
Yep. Yeah.
Mojo Rawley.
The problem is, who are they going to wrestle now? Right? It's going to be the Ascension and them, like over and over and over again.
Well, I mean, that's what they were doing on Raw, on SmackDown, basically. But let's get into it. A very interesting tag team division in Raw now. Mojo Rawley will probably not be a part of it, but he is on Raw. The returning Dolph Ziggler made his presence felt on Raw, wooed by Titus O'Neil, only to see a debuting Drew McIntyre on the main roster out of NXT as a heel and subverting the every new NXT call-up has to feud with Dolph Ziggler meme is Dolph Ziggler's tag team partner, and they already got a sweet finisher with the Claymore kick / zigzag.
Sure, yeah. So I guess he walks in and they become a tag team for a little while, but I gotta feel like
they will eventually feud. They are both single stars, but for right now,
I think and the word is that McIntyre is still considered someone who's supposed to be like a huge, massive A-lister kind of star, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where they're gonna end up. But yeah, they'll do some tag team for a while. They'll crush some noobs, right?
Well, I mean, and look, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre matching up with Breezango. I think I'm here for that. I'm here for that match.
That is
a fun match.
But you lost the club, you lost the bar.
Yeah. Which, by the way, kind of spells where that bar versus Woken, the Woken Wyatt is gonna go on the Greatest Royal Rumble, but that's fine.
We still do have Woken, Matt Hardy, and
so Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy are there.
They're a tag team.
Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler are there. The Ascension's there. Breezango's there. Yeah, man.
The Singh brothers.
The Singh brothers are there. Like,
if you get your second Singh back,
it's a weird. But you want to know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for one side being a lot of mismatch, a lot of the dissension, like a lot of those stories, and then let SmackDown just be the wrestling. Like everyone's just doing some hot tag, cheer for the baby face kind of wrestling.
I forgot, actually, Authors of Pain did come up to
Raw
as
yes,
well.
They did, yeah. And they're, there you God, they're great. All right.
By the way, that's a decent group of tag teams.
By the way, Paul Ellering on Twitter saying, "Hey, look, I wanted to be on the road. Don't be telling me that I'm a feeble old man who didn't want to be on the road. I wanted to be on the road. They just didn't want me." Which I can understand. You can definitely tell that's a Triple H thing. Vince McMahon doesn't want some old man on the road. Like, All right. Who remembers him? All right. Baron Corbin is on Raw, as is Mike Kanellis, The Ascension, and I think two of the more interesting ones. One was the surprise in the main event, Bobby Roode, the glorious one, and on Twitter, almost kind of the best for last, was Chad Gable. Chad Gable, low-key, might be one of the biggest stars on this roster.
At some point, yes. By the way, was there anything about him breaking up with his tag team that happened, or did it just they just slowly
SmackDown,
Shelton Benjamin and them they just drifted apart?
No, SmackDown, Shelton Benjamin came out and said that because Shelton Benjamin thanked him on Twitter after he left. And then Shelton Benjamin came out on SmackDown and said that his phone was hacked, so he wouldn't have said anything because it sucks.
Because they basically just were suddenly now in singles matches, and I guess I missed it. I missed the word of them not being a tag team anymore.
I mean, here's the thing: Chad Gable's a beast, and he's so funny, and he's so good. Just let him go. Just put him in a feud with. I mean, I'll tell you what, Baron Corbin, I'd like to see him in a feud with. I'd see him in a feud with Jinder Mahal. I'll tell you what, put him in a feud with either Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn. I think you're lighting up the ring. He's really, 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 really versatile. But speaking of Shelton Benjamin, he was in the ring talking some mad crap, says anybody can come out and challenge him, and Randy Orton comes out, gets halfway down the ring, and then Jeff Hardy's music plays, and Jeff Hardy just comes in and wrestles, and Randy Orton just kind of leaves. Just kind of walked back. He's like, "Oh, cool, awesome. I don't have to wrestle. Sweet. Let me go back and play Candy Crush."
I mean, that's his character, right? He just doesn't want to wrestle.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. So Jeff Hardy now on SmackDown, bringing the U.S. Championship. By the way, did you see the fun thing that they found that Shelton Benjamin versus Jeff Hardy for the U.S. title was a match 10 years ago?
Yeah, I saw that on Squared Circle. Yeah, it was 2009 or something like that.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Absolution switches. Samoa Joe comes out, and a TV teaser for Sanity. Now, Sanity being Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, and Killian Dane.
But they didn't mention Nikki Cross. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's not. It just they didn't mention it.
The rumor is she's staying in NXT to kind of help with that women's division, which I would guess it will obviously be centered around her, Shayna Baszler, and Kiara
they lost
Sane.
Ember Moon now too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They
by
got
the way,
Kyrie still, though, right? Kyrie
oh
Sane
yeah.
is still there?
I am here for more Nikki Cross, Shayna Baszler. Like that's gonna be brutal. All right. Big Cass, he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. He is now on SmackDown, and by the way, a pretty plum spot. Asuka comes up, cementing the top of that women's division to be insane. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the club, are now on the same show with AJ Styles. Who knows whether or not they will be put together. Cesaro and Sheamus, R-Truth, and El Idolo, Andrade Cien Almas, and Zelina Vega. So they are bringing up Zelina, knowing how important a part of that act she is. Now, was there anybody that you wanted to see switch from one to another that didn't?
They're not really. I mean, there's some guys who you think, are they ever going to pull the trigger on something like this? Is Roman Reigns ever going to SmackDown, right? But
yeah.
Nah. I mean, a lot of this was kind of, I think, expected. These are the people that I kind of wanted them to move. I wouldn't have minded seeing Finn Balor actually go to SmackDown too, though. But I don't care. I don't mind. Whatever. It's not a big deal. But it would be fun to maybe have some sort of a Finn Balor, AJ Styles feuding over who gets to lead the club type of thing. Would be a fun little moment.
So. Yeah. By the way, for those of you not keeping track, this is the top of the SmackDown roster. Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, and Andrade Cien Almas. And I might even be forgetting somebody. But
there's other guys like you could chuck in there. You've got Rusev, you got Randy Orton, you got The Miz, got Jeff Hardy maybe makes his way back in.
Jeff Hardy maybe.
Big E moves on to do some solo
listen,
stuff.
All I'm talking about, these guys are wrestle machines. I mean, like, how many 5-star matches do we have on that roster right now? It's just insane. Because even Andrade's got one.
Yeah, no, I hope Andrade moves right into that spot, man. Starts wrestling these guys because he could put on some freaking great matches with what they got going on over there. So that just makes sense to me.
And then of course there is Rusev because it is Rusev Day. Yeah, and so over here on the tag team side, thankfully you got enough tag teams to kind of mix up the constant New Day versus Usos, which are always great. But listen, space it out a little bit here, kids. Jesus. The club, Cesaro, Sheamus, good additions, very good additions. That, of course, means, oh, yeah, by the way, the Revival's still on Raw. So
yeah, right. They're still on Raw, right? So I think, honestly, like, this makes me just want to watch these shows again. Where
I think mission accomplished, right?
Yeah. I was in a little bit of a slump there. I mean, the road to WrestleMania is great and everything and gets you to pay attention, but there was a period where I was basically just watching the highlights on YouTube, right? And not having to sit and watch the entire show. But now I don't want to really miss anything. Like, I want to see where all this stuff goes, which is exactly the reason to do this.
Because also, I mean, just mix up that top 5. Samoa Joe versus Andrade. AJ Styles versus, we already see him with Daniel Bryan, but, AJ Styles with Samoa Joe again. And Samoa Joe called out AJ Styles. Daniel Bryan with Almas. I mean, come on. These are going to be insane matches. These are going to be great. But I'll tell you.
You know, one thing I really do kind of want to see, though, too, is I want to see Killian Dane off on his own.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see him fight guys like Rusev, like Big E. There's some pretty fun things you could do with him.
I mean, number one, I get the feeling that we are importing Sanity to feud with the New Day, right? Whenever a 3-team, a 3-person team. And then, by the way, I mentioned Big Cass getting a plum spot. He comes in, fired up, interferes in the match with Daniel Bryan. So now we're looking at a little mini feud, at least, with Big Cass and Daniel Bryan, with The Miz looming in the background.
Yeah. This is actually really kind of exciting because if Big Cass and The Miz team up, oh, God. That's amazing. Like having Big Cass be the Mrs. Heavy and having the
Exactly.
Miz do the talking.
Because I can get you over on the mic and not get arrested for rape charges, and you can't teach that.
I will not be up all night doing methamphetamine.
Yeah, I'm not going to be on random Instagram stories at 2 a.m. with crushed up,
So I also did hear, by the way, we haven't really talked about it since, but I guess all the charges were dropped in that case.
No, by the way, not. That was a rumor.
That
not
was
the
just
case.
A rumor, huh? Okay.
Just according
I didn't really research it.
Yeah,
at this
somebody.
point, I'm just kind of over it.
It came out on Twitter, but then Ryan Satin. Big shout out to Ryan Satin of the Pro Wrestling Sheet. He's he's one of these guys.
He did his due diligence.
Yeah, he actually calls police departments and asks them what the official status of the cases are.
In an era of quote-unquote fake news, somebody's actually making
literally,
phone calls.
it's so funny what the threadbare fucking level of journalistic integrity is. Just call somebody and ask them for comment, even if you write they didn't give me comment.
Impressive.
And then the next level is just keep doing it until you get an answer.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's something that we will definitely get an answer on. Who is the first ever winner of the greatest Royal Rumble? Willie, there's been less great Royal Rumbles. There may or may not have been great Royal Rumbles, but this is the greatest.
I think of this. These are like Spellstones and Hearthstone, right? We've had some some lesser Rumbles. Then they cast enough over the top, or they cast enough Kofi Kingston.
Yeah,
avoiding eliminations until it finally leveled the Spellstone up, and so now we're getting the greatest Royal Rumble. Right now we only know about 20 guys in here, but looking at it, I gotta think we're gonna get some Daniel Bryan towards the end. You obviously think Braun Strowman's gonna have a big impact because he'll be in there.
I mean, look,
Chris Jericho will be.
Well,
in
here
there, let's. He always lasts forever.
Can we just go through this card? This card is basically a WrestleMania card.
Yeah, they just sent WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia.
It's insane. It's crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, for those of you who aren't aware of what's happening, the new king or crown prince, I guess, of Saudi Arabia, effectively the ruler of Saudi Arabia, is Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, because I don't want to butcher that name again, is how he's known. He is very, very keen on modernizing Saudi Arabia and turning it, specifically in how people think about it, into a more westward-friendly, westward-looking nation, all right? So what they're doing is spending a tremendous amount of money to make Saudi Arabia more of just an international destination and not a scary haven for terrorism / the reason why my gas is so expensive, which is effectively the PR they have to battle against. So what we are going to see on Friday is what's called in the industry a paid show, meaning Saudi Arabia they're not doing this in concert with the WWE. Because I'll bet you that if the WWE had their druthers, they wouldn't want the next pay-per-view after WrestleMania to be another 6-hour show that starts at, I think, 9 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. On a work day, by the way. But they don't give a flying fuck if anybody shows up to this show, because the rumored sum that the WWE is getting paid for this is $30 million to fly all their goons out to Jeddah so they could do this match, this card, which has changed a million different times. And we'll start with easily the most head-scratching match on here. The Undertaker versus Rusev in a casket match.
Switched to Jericho and then back to Rusev.
Switches to Jericho. Now it's back to Rusev. Rusev is having a blast with this on social media. He posted Throwback Thursday, the picture of Jericho versus The Undertaker in the casket match because it's changed so often. You can't imagine Rusev winning, but what a weird... This just seems like some shit you do in WWE 2K, right? Or WWE 2K.
I feel like Undertaker heard that this was happening and was like, well, I want some of that $30 million.
Mm-hmm.
I could, look, and they probably want to see my entrance. And a casket match is a pretty good way for him to not have to do too much and have it still be very Undertaker-y, right? So, I don't know. Yeah, it's just as an exhibition style thing. something people in Saudi Arabia probably really want to see, and something that, if this guy is a huge wrestling fan, he's like, I want Undertaker there. I want him in a casket match. So then you just figure out who's going to go. And it's, I guess Rusev. Sure, that's fine.
I would love, number one, God, if Undertaker were still in his prime, I would love a Rusev Undertaker feud.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
those guys are big. They're big boys. There's not a lot of people, and I think it's why Undertaker works so well with, like, Brock, guys that can just pick him up and throw him around. And
Sure.
I don't think that there's a lot. Like, Rusev is a big dude, but, like, he's not super tall, but I think he could do really, really rad stuff with the Undertaker.
Yeah. No, they're big guys who do things that big guys aren't supposed to do, which is just always fun.
Always fun. Hey, how about this random match with literally no build? John Cena, fresh from the pages of People magazine, with the man, the King of Kings, Triple H.
This is going to be the Triple H is going to teach John Cena how to be a married man, one punch at a time.
John, you don't understand the bonds of marriage.
To be the King of Kings, you need your queen.
You're afraid of commitment.
This is another one where it's just like, well, what else would you guys like to see? And then some Saudi Arabian guy was like, I want to see John Cena versus Triple H. And they're like, okay, well, you're giving us $30 million, so I guess you get what you want.
Also, by the way,
it's going to be fun.
Saudi Arabia yesterday may or may not have survived a coup attempt.
Okay.
Just so you know. Just so this will not, no matter how weird this can go, and this card is already weird, it will not be the weirdest wrestling show in history, because that will, for now then forever, be the wrestling card they put together with WCW performers in North Korea, which is one of, if you have not read about it, there's a great oral history that needs to be a movie. There's a great story where Scott Norton, if you're not familiar with Scott Norton, just Google Scott Norton, is on the phone with his wife, and he says, oh yeah, this place is a shithole. All of a sudden, the line goes dead, and two North Korean officials come barging in asking why he called it a shithole. All right, so John Cena versus Triple H.
By the way, did Kim Jong-il win the world title?
He did. He went over. So Ric Flair is the headliner of the show, and Ric Flair, and this is Ric Flair doing Ric Flair things, so who knows how much he actually believed. But he believed that he was possibly not going to live because he didn't know whether or not the crowd understood that this this was a work, right?
Yeah.
He's like, listen, you got to punch me in the face as hard as you can because there's going to be no soft working punches here.
Oh, wow. Somebody just linked you can watch the whole event.
You can watch. Oh, yeah. No, it's WCW versus New Japan.
This is insane. I'm watching this.
It's crazy. Those matches aren't fantastic, but holy shit, is it a bizarre story. Especially when you realize who's there. It's like the most like Zubaz goon, where's my steak? I got to lift some weights, kind of like 90s wrestlers. It's so funny. All right. Cedric Alexander versus TBD. The Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos in a tag team match for the SmackDown Championships.
Okay.
The Broken Wyatt team.
They're calling it the Woken Family.
The Woken Family.
Yeah.
Just they need to stop trying to make this thing too cute. Just it's Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, and they don't need to combine their entrances. Just let them do whatever the fuck they want.
Yep.
Against Cesaro and Sheamus, you would imagine that this is, if there is a shoo-in for a title change, that will be the title change.
This is apparently also the final for some sort of tournament that I guess has been going on. That I've been
no, you don't remember? So Braun won the tag team championships with Nicholas.
Oh, that's right. And then
but Nicholas has school.
That's right.
So he can't defend because he's a 10-year-old boy.
Sure.
Okay.
They should look. They're not going to put Ellering on the road. They're certainly not going to put Nicholas on the road.
Yeah, exactly. That is one hell of a field trip if he was. All right, Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal for the U.S. Championship.
Is there any way you think that, like, are they like, okay, the Saudi Arabia, I know he's not Saudi Arabian, but is there any way that they just have Jinder win? So it's like the foreigner wins here?
I mean, there is, for this reason. We have the AJ Styles Shinsuke Nakamura match, but for the Intercontinental Championship, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe versus The Miz.
Yeah, ladder match.
So if you did have Jinder win, not the craziest thing, right?
Sure.
You could then have another title change where Seth Rollins drops the title to one of the SmackDown guys, Samoa Joe or The Miz.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, and then they just switch back.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Which I think that's a really rad ladder match.
That's a super good ladder match. Oh my god.
I mean,
I'm very excited about that.
I mean, if you were just to look at this, like, you know, like if you were just to see a WWE indie show where they just booked it like an indie show where it's just, hey, let's just make a bunch of really cool matches with a bunch of guys you like that have interesting styles that either work together or against each other. This is great.
Yeah, some of that feels like that, and then some of this just feels like, yeah, like, okay, these were really big matches for WrestleMania. Let's do them again.
Yeah.
Right?
By the
It's
way,
like a combo of those two things.
Samoa Joe will be the only person catching anybody. Like,
Sure.
Because go ahead and Google Miz not catching people. There's a few great YouTube compilations. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
This is a steel cage match as well. So,
In a steel cage.
yeah, more brutality. I get a sense that Brock's just gonna win again, but this might be maybe that's one of the reasons why they held it off, right? So they could have one huge title change happen here.
Yeah.
For their 30 mil.
I mean, maybe, right? I mean, it would
Maybe.
make sense. Brock Lesnar is apparently, the way the rumor and innuendo on this is that Brock Lesnar's contract is per appearance only. So
Yeah.
this isn't easier for
Apparently
a
it's an
certain
insane
amount of
money
time.
per appearance too.
Yeah. He's allowed to do UFC. He's allowed to do WWE. He can pop back and forth. Everybody's on the same page. But it means that they got to get this fucking title back on TV. This roster's too good to not have the title on TV.
Yeah.
You'd guess Roman Reigns, right?
I'm gonna if we have to pick, I'm picking Roman.
Although you
I
want to
think
know,
it's time.
you want to know what I would do? You burn one of them appearances and you wrestle Brock Lesnar on Raw, and you just do a old fashioned title change on Raw. Beat Brock Lesnar on Raw. If a random Raw crowd that randomly gets a championship match where Brock Lesnar loses, they're gonna go ape poop for it.
Oh yeah. Well, it'll definitely make people watch the next week as well.
And then, of course, there is the greatest Royal Rumble. It is not.
Okay, so this is all starting at, I think, 10 a.m. for us.
Is it 10 Eastern?
Because it's the pre-show is 11 Eastern, and then the main show is 12, right?
So that would be 9.
That would be
That's 9.
10 a.m. for us is the main show.
No, 9 in the morning.
Oh, you're right. Vegas is Pacific.
Vegas is Pacific.
Oh, fuck.
9 in the morning.
Oh, man.
So
all right. So by the time this greatest Royal Rumble match is going, we'll be definitely in the bag. But it'll be like 2 o'clock.
It will. We might have to find some place in Vegas that serves drinks in the morning.
That'll be tough.
Yeah, I know. It'll be a real rough time. I land at 11. But I might be able to move it up. Anywho.
If you land at 11, you'll be able to probably get to somewhere where we're watching by like 11:30, 11:40.
I will see probably the top 3 matches, I would suspect. All right. Now here's this 50-man Royal Rumble. We don't quite know exactly who is going to be in here. Oh, actually, no, we do. Here's announced greatest Royal Rumble.
Names. Yeah.
All right, Daniel Bryan, Big Show, Braun Strowman, Kurt Angle, Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil, Elias, Goldust, Mojo Rawley, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, Chad Gable, Big E, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Shelton Benjamin, Sin Cara, and Y2J, Chris Jericho.
Now, okay, 50 people. We've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like 20 or so guys on the non-Royal Rumble card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got about 20 guys here. How many of these guys do you think just come back and are in the Greatest Royal Rumble as well? Like, do you think they're really flying out like 70 or 80 wrestlers? Or do you think we're going to get some double duty here?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that we're definitely going to get some double duty, right?
Yeah. Like, you know, somebody
that
like
happens.
Matt Hardy or Bray
Yeah,
Wyatt.
no, that happens
Sheamus,
in regular Royal Rumbles where there's only 30, and instead of the 20 that are there. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw a couple NXT people that are there. And
yeah, I think that's that. I'm just trying to think of like, how do we fill this out, right? And I think that, you know, I also think that in the Saudi Arabia crowd may not be the best place to just bring back fun guys from the past. You know, like it might be better to just bring out more current wrestlers, right? Also,
well, no, I don't know. I mean, look, I think that the only reason why Undertaker's wrestling is because that was probably part of the deal. You know, that like if they're going to put on a big event, they want all the big stars wrestling. So that's why Triple H is wrestling. That's why, you know, John Cena's wrestling. That's why Undertaker's wrestling. I mean, I don't know who it would be. Rey Mysterio, maybe.
Sure. Who are there any wrestlers that are like from Saudi Arabia? Like, I mean, Iron Sheik isn't Saudi Arabia, right? He's like,
well, I mean, they're all Canadian or like from Michigan or something.
Yeah.
But
are there any actual Saudi Arabian wrestlers?
I don't know.
I'm looking this up.
Here's
Sabu, billed from Saudi Arabia, but at one point was billed from Bombay, India.
Yeah, no, I think he's from
At
Michigan
one point,
too.
Bombay,
yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah. So now look at this.
Born Staten Island.
There are currently happening right now is a tryout
Oh,
in Saudi Arabia.
look at this. I see it. Yeah. Wow.
One of the performers there, allegedly, according to the WWE social media, will get to be a part of this Royal Rumble, right? One of the standouts is a young boy by the name of Manny Favorito, or at least that's his ring name, who is a regular at my local Hood Slam.
Is he?
In fact, his gimmick is that he's 17 years old, and he comes out to She's Only 17. The Broseph Joe Brody, the announcer extraordinaire, jokes about how he shouldn't be able to be wrestling. He shouldn't be allowed in the building because they have to card for people over 21. Nobody give him your beer because he might drink it because he's an irascible 17-year-old. All over Reddit that I see over the weekend are people going crazy because this guy's good, saying, hey, look at this 17-year-old that the WWE just signed. Number one, I don't think that it's been announced anywhere that he signed, right? And he's definitely not 17. That Manny Favorito is keeping kayfabe alive on social media single-handedly.
Wow. So wait, how old is he actually?
Oh, who knows? Now? Whatever. He's apparently been 17 for the last 5 years. He's just...
That's awesome. Yeah, this is cool. This is a great idea. Bring in some fresh, some new fun. Yeah, like I love this idea. You got 50 guys. You got to get out there. This makes sense to me.
I think this might be the only Royal Rumble that actually has people come out at 90-second interval. Like it won't be that 4-minute in between interval like it is normally.
I also think we're gonna get a lot of really quick ins and outs, right? Like, because you gotta get through 50 people. You're not gonna have everybody have. So, by the way, somebody's gonna wrestle for like an hour and a half here, though.
Yeah.
Whoever comes out one or two, one of those guys is gonna go almost the entire time.
It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited about it. In fact, the more random, like I love like Mix Max Challenge, this Greatest Royal Rumble. I love weird WWE. Just like hit the randomizer, like just mix up the names indiscriminately. Like I don't give a rat's ass. Just give me.
It's so different for WWE when they do this, but when you go to like an indie show, and then you just have like a blast watching exactly what you said. Just like, okay, let's just put two people together. They don't have to have a feud necessarily.
No.
You have a couple of storylines here and there, but most of the stories are told in the single match, right?
Sure.
Each match has a story that's literally unfolds right in front of you, and then it's done. Yeah, dude, like combine those two kinds of feelings together, and then you get in WWE. It just feels fresh and new and really fun. So yeah, dude. Plus the fact that we're gonna be in Vegas, like
it's gotta be great. Oh, it's gotta be so good. Maybe we'll do a little running diary just because we're gonna be in the same place and it'll be fun. All right, two people randomly in the ring. Let's say, just for a random example, Austin Aries and Pentagon Jr. That's exactly what happened at the Impact pay-per-view last night, and Pentagon Jr. is your new Impact World Champion.
This is pretty crazy, right? This is basically because Lucha Underground is now partnering with them, right? That's basically why we're getting all this kind of crossover stuff.
Well, I mean, but partnering with who? Lucha. I mean, they certainly partnered with Lucha for that one-off show, but also
apparently they've got some back and forth deal now with each other, Impact and Lucha Underground, that they're gonna continue to like have people kind of cross over a little bit.
I guess part of it, I think, is also that I don't know if the contracts are different in these latter seasons of Lucha, but a lot of those initial contracts have run out, which is why we're seeing like Ricochet and NXT.
Yeah.
So maybe this is just he's just allowed to work more stuff like this.
Well, he's also the current Lucha Underground champion too. So he's a dual title holder right now,
dude.
And it's pretty awesome, man. He's one of my he's just, whenever you see him on a card, whenever you see him do anything, it's always just awesome.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Penty two belts. That's what they call him.
Yeah. By the way, so I never really paid attention to his little chant thing.
Cero Miedo.
Just basically means no fear.
No
right?
fear.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you do the hand signal? Cero.
It's this, Miedo. And then you turn it down.
Turn it down. That's it. That's the way to go. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean,
I'm following this kid, by the way, Manny Favorino. Apparently, he's only got 1,200 followers on Twitter. So
everybody go follow him. Number one, he's a great act and one of the Stoner U products, and he's good, man. They're turning out some pretty good folks out of there. I mean,
nice.
And also just announced the one and only Leva Bates, Blue Pants, the queen of cosplay, will be making her Hood Slam debut coming up soon.
Oh, she'll go over there for sure.
Main eventing with the fan favorite Shotzi Blackheart. So
really,
yeah,
that sounds fun.
Oh, that's gonna be a pretty good one. If I'm not mistaken, it is going to be awesome. Well, now let me ask you about this with the Impact pay-per-view. Is that enough to make you start watching Impact?
Kind of. The Sami Callihan stuff makes me scared to watch it, though. I'm not a fan of like getting super grossly bloody in wrestling. Some people love it, I know, but I don't know if you heard about that match.
No. I've watched it. It was horrifying. It was crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, this makes me definitely interested in now checking it out. Also, if they start getting guys like Sammy Guevara coming back in and stuff like that, like it seems like a good place to kind of take some of these guys who are still wrestling all the like small indie shows and really give them like a bigger platform.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what, if they start using it exactly that way, then I'm all for it.
But otherwise, no.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like, I don't know. It's just like, there's too much wrestling. Ring of Honor and New Japan already like take up my extra time, right? Of trying to catch up on what's going on out there.
Yeah.
And then so like Impact is just like, to me, like the lesser of those two options, right?
Well, I mean, it is, but they really are trying.
and they've done some great stuff. Like I remember, when I kind of got back into wrestling, Aces and Eights was going on.
Yeah.
In Impact, and I thought that was great. I checked, like, I watched a lot of that. Bully Ray and, like, Hulk Hogan's daughter and stuff, like, all that. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, it's way random.
But at this point, it's just Ring of Honor and New Japan just outclass it to me, I guess.
I mean, it is hard.
But this is a huge thing. This makes me take notice, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're so right, though. I just kind of, I just wish there was more time in the day.
Yeah, I know, right? There's too much damn wrestling. This is not a problem that people have always had. Right now, we've got a problem where there's like too much good wrestling. And then you got things like, Tommy Dreamer's stuff with was a House of Hardcore. You got PWG, and like you got all these things you want to keep up with.
Yeah.
It's just, man, not enough time.
Not enough time. All right, I'm trying to stall here because I want to get the brand new wrestling themes from your boy.
Some new melodica challenges.
New melodica challenges. So
Look at that.
let's go ahead and play. This was the most recent one. Willie, do you care to guess?
I'm completely lost on this one, man. I've been on a decent streak of figuring these out, but man, I got nothing.
You got nothing. Nothing on this one, huh? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and play it one more time. That would be the current road agent, Fit Finley. Fit Finley is the answer.
All right. Well, there you go. That's why I couldn't figure it out. I have not watched the Fit Finley match in quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to know what? You're right. The old beast from Belfast, not quite on television as often, unless you are in a backstage
Is he still
fight.
going, by the way?
He's an agent. So like basically he's the guy that whenever there's a backstage fight,
okay.
He's like in the middle going like, "Hey, calm down, AJ. Calm down. Calm down."
I just remember his stuff where he was doing all the hornswoggly things. He was like his protector, and he had his shillelagh, and he would come out and wallop some people with his shillelagh for messing with Hornswoggle.
All right,
that's the problem. Is like I have these like blocks of time where I'm somewhat aware of what was going on.
Of what was happening.
Yeah, and sometimes they all kind of bleed together and they don't make sense. Like when you think back of it, there's no context. It's just like, yeah, I remember that guy. He had a shillelagh. That's all,
Yeah,
that's all
but then it's ultimately just too weird, and you're like, all right, whatever.
But wasn't he at some point like in the actually like doing the high card matches and challenging for titles and things?
I remember him more in WCW because I think he did have a good run in WWE, but it was after I had kind of checked that a little bit. All right, here we go. This is our first of the new batch. Trey Warren has graced us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new melodica themes. He gets very drunk, profoundly drunk, before recording them. So here we go. The Drunken Melodica Theme Challenge, the first of the new batch.
All right.
All right. One more time.
I actually.
You got it?
I know this one, yeah. I actually, at his house, tried to do this one myself.
Oh, did you?
He was like basically showing me his process. He was like, all right, so first I pull it up on my phone.
Yeah.
And I watch it on YouTube. and then I basically just do this. Like, okay. And this was the one that we were doing, and I was trying to do it too, and I couldn't.
All right. You want to stake your claim? Take a guess.
Yeah, it's CM Punk.
We'll find out next week. If you want to text us your guesses, then go ahead and hit us up at Willie Dills and at Justin R. Young. Always love to bandy about whatever we've talked about on the show or the Melodica Challenge. Whatever you want. Willie, what you got?
So I've been working a bunch, and now I got the next few days off, so I'll be able to stream before going to Vegas. But basically, just check out. I'm going to try to do some sort of an IRL stream at some point while I'm there. Curtis will be there, of course. A bunch of Diamond Clevers will be there, but Curtis was the main force behind getting me to actually come out. So
Curtis hit me up. Curtis hit me up a while ago, and he's like, "Hey, man, I think Willie needs to come out to this thing." And I'm like, "You want to know what? I agree." And he's like, "How do you think we could do it?" And I'm like, "Well, you should just bother him in his chat." And he said, "You want to know what? That I can do." And I'm glad to see it worked.
Yeah, it totally worked. So basically, we put up a donation goal, and I streamed over the month, and anybody who donated just all went towards this. So that's where we're at. So I got my ticket. I'm going to be out there, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
Dude, it is going to be an absolute blast. So hopefully, we'll have an IRL on Dills' stream. So you need to go over there right now, twitch.tv/Willie Dills, and make sure that you are ready for it. All right. Folks, that is about it for us right here on the show, the 1-900 Wrestling Program. My name is Justin Robert Young. You can follow me at Justin R. Young on all social media and justinryoung.tv, which is my Twitch channel. But until next time.
I want you to call me for all of wrestling's latest news and views. I've been around in wrestling.
For Willie Dills Gregory, my name is Justin Robert Young. This is 1-900 Wrestling. Be dialing!
Stupid idiots.
They call me Hara.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking. And his name is John Cena. Well, look at this prima donna. Thank God Donald Trump.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.